The WNBA is in chaos. Ticket prices are plummeting, arenas are half empty, and fans are voicing their frustration loud and clear. But what's even more shocking? The player who once proudly declared herself the face of the league, Angel Reese, is now facing the harsh reality that without Caitlin Clark, fans just aren't interested. The numbers don't lie, and the message is deafening. Angel Reese is stunned, the league is scrambling, and the WNBA's dependence on one rookie superstar is raising serious questions about its future. Welcome back to the channel. If you want the real story behind the headlines, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, because we're diving deep into what's really going on behind the scenes in the WNBA and why Angel Reese just got a brutal wake-up call. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a phenomenon. From the moment she stepped on the hardwood at Iowa, Clark captivated millions with her deep three-pointers, flashy passes, and fiery competitiveness. She shattered records, dominated headlines, and became a household name long before the WNBA draft. And when the Indiana Fever drafted her first overall, the hype exploded. Ticket prices soared. Merchandise flew off the shelves. ESPN bumped WNBA games into primetime slots. Suddenly, games featuring the Indiana Fever, a team that won only 13 games last season, were selling out entire NBA-sized arenas. She became the WNBA's golden ticket. The league was finally in the mainstream sports conversation, and Caitlin Clark was the reason. But now that she's missed games due to injury and load management, or when she's simply not on the court for stretches, the reality has hit hard. Fans are tuning out. Ticket resale prices have nosedived, and the league is being forced to confront a truth it wasn't ready to admit. Angel Reese came into the WNBA with massive hype of her own. The self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie brought swagger, social media clout, and a championship pedigree from LSU. Her rivalry with Caitlin Clark in college was must-watch TV. The taunting, the attitude, the drama. It all added fuel to a growing fire that had millions glued to women's basketball. And when Reese was drafted by the Chicago Sky, expectations were sky-high. But the on-court product hasn't matched the off-court branding. Reese has struggled with efficiency, defensive lapses, and foul trouble. Meanwhile, her insistence that she is the face of the WNBA, while Clark has carried the league's attention, has created tension among fans and analysts. And now, with Clark either resting or missing games due to injury, and Reese left on the floor, the numbers paint a brutal picture. Fans are leaving. Ticket prices are plummeting. The buzz is evaporating. Reese is reportedly shocked at the lack of support when Clark isn't in the building, and it's a rude awakening. In the weeks leading up to Caitlin Clark's arrival, WNBA games were averaging ticket resale prices between $20 to $40, depending on the team. But when Clark's schedule was released, prices for Indiana Fever games skyrocketed, in some cities reaching $400 plus for lower bowl seats. Now, prices are dropping like a rock when she's not playing. Take Chicago, for example, Angel Reese's home court. When the Sky played without Caitlin Clark and the Fever, ticket prices dropped back to $15 to $25, with many seats available for under $10. Games that once promised sold-out crowds are now filled with empty rows. Scalpers who bought tickets hoping for sellouts are now desperately trying to offload them for pennies on the dollar. This isn't just a fluke. It's a pattern. Across the board, WNBA ticket demand directly correlates with one player's presence. Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese? She's learning the hard way that media hype doesn't translate to real fan interest, not the way Clark's does. Some even speculate that the WNBA's attempt to push Reese as a co-face of the league has backfired. Fans feel like they're being told who to support, instead of naturally gravitating toward the player who's actually putting up historic numbers and transforming the sport, Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese is still an important part of the league, no doubt. But the idea that she can carry games on her own has clearly been tested, and the verdict is in, fans aren't buying it. Let's look at how the WNBA is handling all of this. Since Caitlin Clark's debut, viewership for Indiana Fever games has broken records. Networks like ESPN and ABC are seeing their highest ratings for WNBA games in history, but only when Clark is on the screen. When she's off, ratings plummet. In fact, Recent games where Clark sat for extended minutes or wasn't playing at all saw more than a 40% drop in viewership compared to those where she was active and starring. The league is built around her. The marketing, the TV schedules, the fan engagement, it's all Clark-centric. The WNBA may have hoped to use Clark's popularity to boost other stars like Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, or Aya Wilson. But the results show that fans came for Caitlyn, and many won't stay without her. And that has Angel Reese and others scrambling to catch up. Mainstream media has done everything possible to hype up Angel Reese. She's on magazine covers, she's in commercials, and she's constantly featured on social platforms like ESPNW and Overtime WBB. But here's the issue. Media attention doesn't equate to fan investment. While Reese gets interviews and branding deals, the box score tells a different story. Poor shooting percentages, high foul counts, and minimal team success. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark is averaging double-digit assists, deep three-point shots, and showing elite court vision, all while carrying a historically bad team into playoff contention. Fans want results. They want someone who elevates the game. Clark delivers on the court and backs up the hype. Reese, for now, isn't keeping pace, and fans are voting with their wallets and TV remotes. Angel Reese has responded to criticism before, often doubling down with her signature confidence. But insiders report that she's growing frustrated by the dwindling crowds and lack of buzz when Clark isn't around. Reese believed she'd be a co-star in this new WNBA era, but instead, she's learning what it means to be in someone else's shadow. To her credit, Reese has said she's ready to embrace the villain role, but that only works if fans are watching. Right now, many simply aren't. She's facing the harshest truth in sports. Popularity has to be earned, not gifted. And as Clark continues to break records and capture hearts, Reese is being left behind in real time. The league has to ask itself a hard question. Is the WNBA ready to bet everything on one player? Because right now, all signs point to Caitlyn Clark being the heartbeat of the league. Without her, interest fades fast. Ticket prices plummet. Media coverage thins out. And players like Angel Reese, despite their own star power, aren't generating enough to fill arenas or keep viewers locked in. This isn't sustainable. The WNBA needs to figure out how to market its stars more effectively, improve game accessibility, and maybe most importantly, get its players aligned behind a shared vision instead of petty rivalries and ego trips. If they can't, Caitlyn Clark's impact may remain a one-woman show, and when she's not around, the silence will be deafening. So what happens now? Will Angel Reese step up and earn her spot as a true on-court star? Will the WNBA finally realize that fans want excellence, not just drama and branding? And most importantly, will the league find a way to thrive even when Caitlyn Clark isn't playing? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates.